there's a microphone right there to catch the last gurgles, and Technicolor to photograph the red swollen tongue.
Hey, Vern.
Future events such as these
Angling?
will affect you in the future.
Damn you, Rabbit! You smell like fucking piss!
You're watching The Projectors.
Hell yeah!
A film fan program discussing a variety of movies from history and around the world.
What do you think of this boner I got?
Featuring your hosts, Bob Sham.
When you're Scandinavian, flopping out your mommy milkers is nothing.
And Angela.
If they were just gun perverts, this would be fine.
Party!
Thank you for selecting The Projectors.
I want French pancakes like at IHOP.
And now a preview of our film discussion.
Oh.
Some animals around the county have been acting funny. Some of them violent. It's almost like they act when they smell a predator around.
Amman, Nairobi, Bangalore, and Jerusalem as the
Same
latest.
shows on every station.
Every station?
It is the 18th reported crop site in that country in the last 72 hours.
I'm a little scared. All this stuff on TV. Joe Gills was in here talking about the end of the world.
They're staying in the shadows. It's called probing to make sure things are all clear.
Clear for what?
For the rest of them.
There's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
Ground forces are being assembled.
What's happening? Don't be afraid. It's like War of the Worlds. Believe it's going to pass. Don't be afraid. They're in the house. Here it comes. Don't be afraid.
Hey, folks. It's Halloween, HUMPFEST 3. 5 weeks, 6 movie discussions each week. Angela picked 2, I picked 3. But the 2 of what I picked were easy, because we need to get through some M. Night Shyamalan movies, because I made a promise. A theme that arcs the entire year called Getting It Twisted with M. Night Shyamalan. And he has spooky, thrilling and chilling movies. So this week, 6 M. Night movies. We're talking M. Night's thrills and chills. And I'm the first movie we're going to be discussing here. I went to the theaters to see, and I walked out of it at the end because I thought the reveal of how they defeated the aliens was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That I walked out. I can remember every movie I walked out of. 1999 or 2000 Godzilla movie had Matthew Broderick in it. The movie, this movie, the first one we're going to talk about, Signs. But I walked out of like the last 5 minutes, like I'd seen the whole movie. And the movie Underworld, where the lady is fighting vampires and werewolves.
Yes, that's the lady from Serendipity.
Yeah, her, right.
I
thought that movie was really stupid.
have never walked out of a movie, and I even saw John Leguizamo's The Pest in the theater.
Wow, that's some stern stuff.
I paid for it. I'm gonna fucking watch it. And also, you can't have a full, solid, like, this movie sucked to the very last second if you don't see the whole thing.
Well, you know me, like, I will watch a show, and there will be 3 episodes left, and I'm like, I just don't like this show.
Yeah, I have gone back years later to finish television shows that I stopped on.
Godzilla, the first movie I ever walked out of, I snuck into as well.
Ah, well, that's different.
So, I got it for free, and it still wasn't worth it. M. Night's Thrills and Chills, we got 6 movies to discuss, so let's get to discussing it. Our first one, we're talking about the movie Signs from 2002, starring friend of the Jews, Mel Gibson.
Oh, God.
Joaquin Phoenix, and some great kid actors. Cinematography here by Tak Fujimoto. Tak Fujimoto, we've talked about his movies before. He's very prolific. He's worked on Badlands, Ferris Bueller, Pretty in Pink, Silence of the Lambs, That Thing You Do, The Sixth Sense, and The Happening, which we'll discuss later. I think this movie actually looks really nice. It has some 2002-ass special effects when it comes to these aliens, which I don't remember them looking that bad, but it's just kind of the time. But I think the cinematography in this movie is actually really sharp, and this movie might be the prettiest. Yeah, the prettiest we've seen until the last one that we're going to discuss. But I think this is probably one of M. Night's best looking movies. And I like the James Newton Howard music as well, the score.
Yes, I enjoyed this the first time I saw it. I enjoyed watching it again as well. But the thing that got me originally, which I was much more soft on this time, like I think it's totally fine, was I hated that they just straight up showed you the alien. Yeah. Because to me, that should have been more secretive, I guess, because it didn't look so great. But putting it in the context of the time, it was totally fine. And Joaquin Phoenix, he could be in every movie that we watch. Yeah, and I would be totally fine with it.
He kind of almost carries the next movie we get, him and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, absolutely.
But because we've discussed this before, if you deliver a subpar line delivery, it seems like M. Night doesn't recognize it sometimes.
I mean...
So it's actually a test if someone is really good in an M. Night Shyamalan movie, like they may actually be a good actor. Like Josh Hartnett was very good in Trap.
Absolutely.
But there's plenty of examples in that same movie of other characters delivering these lines that maybe should have redone.
We have a whole movie of that coming up. Just watch out.
Well, Mel Gibson, he plays the opposite of how he actually is in real life. He's a very meek...
former
pastor, like an Anglican priest or something, who is having a crisis of faith because his wife died in a car accident.
An insane car accident.
Where she gets smushed in between some cars to...
a car and a tree.
I remember reading about this occurrence, and maybe M. Night read the same thing I read forever ago about the story of someone who got maybe a train derailed and got smushed, and they were normal and alive, but they knew this thing's got to come apart and they will unravel and die.
Absolutely. And they would eventually die anyway, but there is this window of time in certain situations like this one and the one you're talking about, which I feel like I remember that too, where you're still fully functional, but you know you're going to die. So she just gets to say goodbye to her husband. And I know that it ruins his faith, but that is also something that you would not normally get in this situation. So you would almost think he might have took solace in that, but no, he is mad at God.
A very calmly spoken, meek guy who questions his faith. That's not like Mel Gibson at all.
No,
not at all.
Joaquin is his younger brother, who is a former baseball player. He has world records, but he's also has the highest strikeouts. Because
that's home run hitter game.
Yeah.
That's just how it is when you're a home run hitter. So without saying it directly, he was a home run hitter.
Well, for sure. No, he has home run records. But I did like after we learned that about him, he's walking away from the situation and he just goes, didn't feel right not to swing. You don't hit the ones you don't swing at.
Dead wife, before she died, is like, hey, swing away. We get
oh yeah.
We get because she sees if you're about to die, your
brain is cutting off. You short circuit,
and you see the future. You become a prophet. It becomes prophecy, pretty much.
Well, he did at the time say, "Oh, she was just having a memory."
It's a pretty dark start. We got a growling dog, and you'll notice that in the frame when that dog is growling. The dog is not in the frame with the kids. You can kind of tell. Because when the dog starts to growl, the kids don't really move that much. They didn't even change their expression. And
interesting.
And we
maybe they ADR'd it, but forgot to tell the kids to react.
Yeah, the kids should have reacted more like, because, we get around that, we come back to that scene and the kid is forced to stab the dog because it went crazy. And it's something is making the dogs go crazy. Also, there's crop circles, which I haven't heard about crop circles in a long time.
This is a very early 2000s. When we were younger, everybody
was
talking
literally
about crop
that.
circles. I know, but it really dated itself into that time. I remember talking about crop circles all growing up. Also, the setting of a cornfield feels very old. I know there's cornfields now, but
Field of Dreams.
More of it. Yeah, I feel like it used to be more of a device. But the kids in this, I do want to say,
they're cute.
They're cute. It's Abigail Breslin, a really young, or Breslin, and a Culkin.
You notice that he will have these sweet moments with kid characters. Like each movie, even if it's bad, will have like a sweet moment, right?
Oh, sure.
And this movie probably has a few. But the kid dynamics are pretty much the same in every movie.
Yes.
It's a boy and a girl, and they're all the exact same character in each M. Night Shyamalan movie, pretty much. They just maybe had different things happen to them or different past. But also, the little girl, she doesn't drink a whole thing of water. She think it tastes weird.
It's something they said she's done since she was born.
They have a lot of glasses. They need to wash these glasses.
Yeah, at one point they look around the house and there's probably 30 glasses at some stage of full around the room. And is the glass half empty? Or is it half full?
What passes as humorous dialogue in M. Night Shyamalan movies is rough. And I'm thinking with the cop lady who comes and talks to them, and they're reporting that something weird is going on. I think at this point they saw something on the roof. Yeah. And then there's this dumb dialogue about how they're trying to figure out what that was. And
how certain are you that this was a male?
Oh, I don't know any girls who could run like that.
I don't know, Meryl. I've seen some of those women on the Olympics. They can run like the wind.
This guy got on our roof in like a second. Our roof is 10 feet high.
They have women's high jumping in the Olympics. They got these Scandinavian women who can jump clean over me.
Dumbass conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of like why's it gotta be a dude? And it's so dumb. This is an actor that, this woman is an actor that he uses over and again as well. We'll see her in the next movie too. And also, she's kind of forgettable characters, to be honest.
They have this book, Bimbu's book, and it's full of alien invasion theories, because why not have this? And in the book is
the kid goes and buys it.
In Bimbu's book, there is literally an image of their house exactly as it looks. And I know there's an alien invasion going on, but it seems like maybe you should have concentrated a little harder on, they just kind of wow, that's weird, and go on with their lives.
Well, there is a point where more and more news coverage is happening, and Mel Gibson doesn't want the kids to watch it so that they won't be scared, and they move the television into the closet. And I actually really liked this over the progression of the movie. It goes from the TV's in the closet to Joaquin's watching the TV in the closet to he and Mel are watching it, and then the whole family's in the closet watching the television. They can't just move it out into the living room.
Yeah.
It's more intense to get them in that smaller space. I thought that was a cool thing.
And it plays up humor where they're putting foil on their heads. There's little silent jokes that actually do kind of work. With they just look goofy, and it's hard not to laugh at them.
When he comes in and Joaquin also has the foil on his head, that is great.
I think that's a pretty famous image of this movie too. All of them with the foil on their head. But the Brazil footage we saw, I thought that was legit scary.
Yes.
Granted, you see now with the effects then how the alien looks, but I remember in the theater jumping when that scene happened.
That was scary.
It might be the scariest part of all movies we might be talking this month.
I agree. That was scary. That's what I wanted it to be every time. Later, when we just see one rock right across the screen, that's what killed it for me a little bit. Make it be blurry footage. Make it be at night. You shouldn't really see an alien in full daylight.
Yeah, they're just walking around, which, as we'll discuss later, they should not be able to do. Just give them suits or something, right? Anyway.
They're naked.
There's a scene that at first it makes zero sense, but then it becomes very sweet because they know aliens are coming. They know that they're around and they're locked, and they know that there's been Dad saw, he chopped the fingers off one, sticking the fingers under the door. So they know that there's aliens surrounding their farmhouse. And Rory Culkin's character is just randomly mad at Dad. Like, it's not built up in any way because other than his own crisis of faith, he is a perfect father. Like, he never stops being a good man. He's just questioning religion. But Rory is mad about it. And the anger, the outrage just feels like it comes out of nowhere. But then it coalesces into this scene where the whole family, they just kind of yell at each other for a minute, and then they all come together, and it actually is kind of sweet. So it went from like something that's really stupid, like why are they having this now?
I mean, why does an 11-year-old have to be mad ever? Like, he was just mad.
Yeah, you got a good dad. But Dad does hate God, and he says as much. And also Bo dreamed this, because why not?
I appreciated the scene between Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix where Joaquin goes to him to try to get comfort because his brother was a priest. And Mel Gibson tells him all this stuff. I can't remember his name in the movie at all. He tells him all this stuff that makes him feel comforted, but he does not believe it. And Joaquin actually says to him, do you really think that there is someone looking out for us? And Mel's like, no, I actually don't. But do you feel comforted? Because that's what you wanted. I just gave you what you wanted.
Yeah, so I guess the kid is mad that his dad's not being more comforting, but I mean, cut him some slack. We're all dealing with an alien invasion at once here. Also, I want to talk about the Bimboos invasion theory.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not going to be like Independence Day, as this movie explains. The aliens are going to be like cells coming around and more likely to do hand-in-hand combat. And I forget the rationale for why they said that.
They're trying to get info to come back and really attack later.
Right.
It's like a reconnaissance mission.
So the news states one day after they're panicking that a lot of them have retreated, the aliens. And this is very funny because the news states,
we know the battle turned around in the Middle East. 3 small cities there found a primitive method to defeat them. We have no further details at this time.
A primitive method was used, but there's no further details as to how. They know that it's a primitive method, but they didn't keep asking questions what okay, the aliens are... They also state that any injured alien will be left behind. So remember, Dad cut the fingers off one, so one is just still around. So that one gets in the house, and there's a big to-do, and then he swings away, and he hits a glass of water, and the water splashes on the alien, and and then we learn, and then the alien, it's like acid on the alien, the alien dies in their living room. That is the primitive method that they had no further details for. How do they know it's a primitive method if they have no details?
Also, I mean, water is not a gun, so I guess they could say we're killing them with water, but also just tell everybody, because if the ones that are injured are still around, just be like, shoot them with water.
So,
get a water gun.
So all the glasses of water, thank God they didn't wash all those glasses that the little girl was leaving around the house.
It's all for a reason.
Because they're able to like swing away and hit glasses of water on the alien and kill him. And so back in the day, this was the last M. Night Shyamalan movie I watched in the theater. After this, I was like, I'm not paying to go see these movies. I was a lot more angry about movies back then. I can handle a bad movie even if I went to the theaters a lot better nowadays. As it has been pointed out, this movie is the most hemmed and hawed over all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies because some people like either love or hate this movie. And I think I didn't feel myself hating this movie like I did when I first saw it. Like I said, I love the cinematography of it. I think there is real sweet moments here. I think there is some good tension and scares in it, but it is dotted away with like dumb dialogue and forced plot. explanations, and I'll get into M. Night's style with another movie, writing style with another movie we're going to discuss later. But of course, there's water molecules in the very atmosphere.
Yeah.
The aliens would just like burn up. If it works like acid on them, they would just be like suffocating, like they're breathing in, like freaky. They'd be like they're getting waterboarded, and their skin would simmer.
You know what this is? They're all from Oz, and it's the Wicked Witch of the West's family, because they're all green and water kills them.
Oh, were they green? I couldn't remember their color.
Greeny, blacky. I don't know.
They looked a little bit like the aliens from Fire in the Sky, but Fire in the Sky, they look better because they were like animatronic or whatever. But yeah, so they defeat the alien together, and he gets his faith back. Also, M. Night Shyamalan is the one that accidentally killed his wife. Like, he killed her when he wrote her to be killed, and he played a character that literally crashed into her.
Yep, he was the one. He's always in his movies.
And he does mention in the movie, when we see that character, when he's talking about the aliens, he's like, I don't think they like the water.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when he said that?
Because that guy was in his house. For some reason, Mel Gibson went to go see him because they have a weird connection because he killed his wife. It's a little heavy-handed.
I love the recruiter character that Joaquin went and talked to. He was so over the top, but probably the most entertaining character in the whole movie.
There are some great moments.
The budget, $72 million. Box office, $408 million. This movie made bank. And I guess we're going to judge it now. I'm going to give it a 2.75.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Some people would rate that higher. If I was rating this after I watched it, when I first saw it in the theater, like over 20 years ago, I probably would have given it a 1. But there is something nice to see in this movie.
Yeah.
So let's move on. The movie we're discussing next for M. Night's Thrills and Chills is the 2004 film The Village. This is the first time I've seen this one. It stars a plethora. This is a true ensemble with this one. We got Joaquin Phoenix, Bryce Dallas Howard, Adrian Brody, and we'll talk about more about him in a second. You know I love talking about Adrian Brody. Sigourney Weaver, William Hurt, Brendan Gleeson, Judy Greer, Michael Pitt, and a very low-billed Jesse Eisenberg early in his career. If I had known, that Adrian Brody was going to be playing a mentally challenged person, I would have watched this a long time ago. Because as you and some people may know, one of my favorite subcategories of movies is actors playing people with intellectual disabilities.
Who do not have them themselves.
Actual people with intellectual disabilities who are actors, get the fuck off my screen.
No!
I don't want... I'm kidding.
You could watch those unironically.
The movie The Ringer has both.
Interesting.
We should get to that someday. Johnny Knoxville comedy.
This one, to me, is one of the more beautiful ones.
This one looks good too, yeah.
I think it's more just the tableaus that he creates in this one. There are images from this movie that just flash in my mind when I think about it, and always have. Especially the night on the porch with her and Joaquin. There's some really gorgeous shots. There's some really beautiful scenes. And like Bob said, I think this is one of the best acted ones. And I think it's because all of those people that you mentioned are excellent actors.
I mean, you can't miss with William Hurt as lead.
Fucking Brendan Gleeson, come on.
This was the Adrian Brody won the Oscar for Best Actor for The Pianist 2 years before this movie. 2 years later, he's like fifth billed playing an intellectually disabled guy on a movie about pioneering Amish people. Now, I never saw this movie, but you hear about the reveals. So
They're not Amish.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Might as well be. So I kind of knew. I didn't know the details of it. Look, the reveal is that they're in modern times.
Yeah, but they think they're in the 1800s.
But
not everyone.
But the older folks know. They're
the elders.
They're keeping this going for a long time. But there's rumblings in the woods. Creatures called those we don't speak of, and they are we see them come out at night sometimes and raid, and they're in the woods, and they're hooded porcupine monsters. That's like the best I can describe.
Say, they are porcupine bears almost.
Yeah. Lucius is played by Joaquin Phoenix, and he's a brave and quiet playa. He turns down Judy Greer, one of my character actor crushes. He turns her down because he wants her blind sister, who has a pet, which is Adrian Brody's character. Adrian Brody's character is her pet.
Yes. They play together. She has unending patience for him, and he obviously is in love with her. But she and Joaquin Phoenix's character, Lucius, is that right?
Yeah.
Have always cared about each other, but he is so quiet that nothing's ever happened. Who even knows why Judy Greer liked him, though? I think she just was like, he's a good man and he will be a good husband.
Ain't a lot of options.
I mean, she finds another guy real fast.
Yeah.
That's just what you do in this town, I guess. The thing about Lucius is that he has decided that it is his responsibility to cross through the woods to bring back medicines because they just had a child die. A child passed away from illness. And he's like, this shouldn't happen if there are towns on the other side. I'll just go.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to go to the fucking wicked towns.
Right.
Everything is, well, I guess now we know that the elders those that know better might leave and come back and bring stuff. But for the most part, everything is made in this town.
I don't think they do, because then you would not, like, it wouldn't be 1800 style. I think that they took what they could and that's it.
Is there a paper mill? Are they making paper?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, literally everything.
Well,
look, in college, I stole so much printer paper from the campus library that I was about 30 when I was finally done with it all.
You already said they're really in present time. You're right. They could be getting drop-offs of materials and supplies, because we do find out later that the head guy of the elders, his family, I don't know about that.
He sucks everyone's dick in town.
No.
And he's all the pussies
Miss
too.
Sigourney Weaver wants to suck his dick.
Oh,
but
right,
he's
right.
married to someone else. But he loves her. And actually, this was very sweet too. This was very sweet. Lucius tells his mom, Sigourney Weaver, that this man is in love with her. And she's like, no, he's not. And he goes, yes, he is, Mom. And I know, because he never touches you. Which is a beautiful concept, and it is completely true. And it's one of those things. Yeah, you're too nervous. Like, it's no big deal to take an older woman's hand and put your arm around her and comfort her if you don't have feelings for her. But if there's a woman who is your age and your wife is across the room and you know you can't have her, touching her is too painful. It's not even, you're too scared. And that was really cool.
And you talked about the porch scene between Joaquin's character and Bryce Dallas Howard's character.
How did you know I was here?
I saw you at the window. No. I won't tell you your color. Stop asking. When we are married, will you dance with me? I find dancing very agreeable.
Which actually was very sweet. Like, this is definitely Joaquin, M. Night's most romantic movie.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Though apparently his next movie is supposed to have a romance angle as well. So
we'll see.
Maybe he'll outdo it. Maybe it wouldn't be too hard. But Noah, that's Adrian Brody's intellectually disabled character, he's a player hater. So he stabs Lucius in the gut.
Because they're going to get married, because they confess their love to each other on the porch.
So now Lucius must be saved. So what do you do to save Lucius?
You send the blind girl through the woods.
You send the blind girl, but first you go and take her to a shed, and you see porcupine creature costumes and say, they ain't real. But then he says here, I want to say this part.
There did exist rumors of creatures in these woods. It is in one of the history books I used to teach in the towns.
when he was in the Wicked Towns, he was a teacher, and he taught people at school that there was said to be creatures in the woods. And they also say that all the weird noises you hear from the forest, they're making those noises. They don't explain how.
They don't explain how they're making the noises, for sure.
But it's so funny that he goes, you know, all the creatures, we've been faking them to keep everyone under control. But I heard there might be creatures in the woods. That's the folklore, right? So now we know, because I knew the whole time that it was all in the modern times, the reason you send the blind girl is because she can't tell everyone that there's these crazy places called Walgreens or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the concept. But I could imagine if you don't know the reveal, the William Hurt character just looks like a fucking idiot. Like he's trying to get his daughter murdered.
I think I didn't know the first time I saw it, and I really liked it. And in that moment with William Hurt, it's like he's still trying to, he needs her to come back and still believe. So he's telling her, we do this, but we're not doing it just to keep you in this town forever, which is what they're doing in this village. But we're doing it to protect you because there could be problems out there. Like he's trying to say, like, be careful. This thing you see in town is not real, but there still could be problems. So just like still be really careful and follow the instructions I give you and come back.
So she almost falls into this ravine, but she manages to climb back out, and she's super muddy. But then she's also suddenly stalked by one of the porcupine creatures.
Yeah.
Wait, is this one real? Is it? Well, it's chasing her, and it seems like it could have grabbed her at any time, really.
Well,
but
once you know who it is, you understand why maybe not.
But she tricks it. She knows where the ravine is by feel, and she moves out of the way just in time as it runs at her, and it falls into the ravine, and we instantly cut to the town, and Noah is gone, and he's taken an outfit. He's taken a costume.
They show him die
very quickly. It doesn't.
His mouth is bleeding.
Yeah, it immediately is like, that's Noah. He's dead. She accidentally killed her pet, Noah, and so
he almost killed her soon-to-be husband.
But at some point, she's like, she feels where the road is. I mean, it's in the middle of the fucking woods.
Oh, also, there were 3 guys who were supposed to be protecting her. These dudes were fucking pussies.
Yeah.
They all left. Even Michael Pitt.
At one point, she just runs away from her pack. Like, she thinks she's, like, right there, and I guess she is. I don't know why she would leave her pack. But anyway, she climbs over a wall, and then it's a road, right? And then she encounters this security guy who takes her to this building and gives her the medicine.
He doesn't take her there. He gets her list. He leaves her where she is, and he goes and gets stuff and brings it back, because when he goes in, M. Night Shyamalan is his supervisor, and he has to be sneaky to get the meds.
And they are paid. William Hurt is like a billionaire or something who pays this agency to watch the perimeter of all this land that they're parked at.
This is a reserve that belongs to his family.
He bribes the government not to fly planes overhead so as not to confuse people. When I knew there was going to be a real world reveal, I kind of thought like, oh, is she just going to walk into like a department store or something? Like I mentioned Walgreens earlier. Like, what if she like stumbles blind into a Walgreens and she's pawing at gummy bears, right? I think that would have been like a better reveal.
I agree with you, and yet he would have never sent her if that was the case. If on the other side of the woods, there wasn't just going to be a road and like one small little like building that she could ask for help at, I don't think he would have sent her, because he knew that's what she was going to come upon.
I just thought for sure we were going to see her wander into a town, and then we'd see like signs like here's a Hardee's over here. And I think that would have been funnier and better than how it was done here.
It was more dramatic in my memory.
I understand it's all rigged, yeah.
I thought what was going to happen, and I was shocked at how simple it was, as you've just described it, because in my mind, she comes over the wall and immediately like a semi drives past and scares the fucking shit out of her. Like something like that would have been even more than what this was, right?
It just seemed like it was the reveal. Well, I mean, you kind of got to go with it, but it was just revealed in a very boring way. you know?
Oh, yeah. And then we get all the people, all these elders, they're like opening up these boxes that stay in all their houses that's like things of their past life. They really weren't giving up everything because they didn't give up that shit. You know, they still probably had their driver's licenses and passports and whatever, but they pull out this photo that's them all in the 70s, and they're all coupled up except Sigourney Weaver, and they all have these stories about how someone they loved died, and they all blamed it on society at the time, and they needed to go and, like, start their own thing. So truly, they're just a cult.
Yeah, like a commune cult, yeah.
Somehow managed to
they're
raise
preppers.
a couple cool kids.
They're kind of preppers. They're throwback preppers. Well, Ivy returns. That's Bryce Dallas Howard's character. How kind of stunning is her look, by the way? She's almost
gorgeous.
looks like a fucking cherub or something. Like, just so, like, shiny. Like, I know she's in Lady in the Water, one of the few left that we need to discuss. So, and you can see, I think I know the concept behind that one, too. And, like, it makes sense she would be in that role. But she does return. Lucius is saved. And the village continues. And there's no, like, greater reveal to the whole town. We're just moving along.
Yeah, they have a moment where they all have to say, like, are we going to keep doing this? And they decide to keep doing it.
All right, now judging this one, I felt like it was, fell kind of flat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate the real romance we got in here. But, like, it really is, there's still some points, like, in all of these movies that are like, that is dumb. That part is dumb.
Yeah.
Why are they talking like that? Why are they saying that? But I think I'm right down the middle with this one at 2.5.
Oh, wow. I'm a 3.25.
You like this one a lot.
I really like this one. I do agree that the end is weird, but I think it's an interesting concept. And even though it's cheesy as fuck, I love that they even just explain why there's no planes. Because truly, why are there no planes?
That's a 5.75? 3.
Yes.
Yes. So 5.75 for The Village. Creepy porky. The porcupine creatures did look creepy as shit.
Yeah, they were cool.
It did have that Signs feeling, like there's something out there.
Well, and that was so cool when they all like locked down in their houses, and then this creature's just going door to door.
Now, the next movie, The Happening from 2008. I did watch half of this movie way back in the day when we were house sitting for someone, but I fell asleep.
I watched the whole thing twice now.
So I knew it was the trees or the bees. I couldn't remember. And then when I'm watching it, I was like, oh, it's neither. I think it's the wind.
Yeah, it's the plants. It's all the plants and the wind working
Which
together.
they actually tell you halfway through it's the plants. But for some reason, I didn't think that would stick. Like it would be something else. Like I kept expecting them to explain a little more, but they didn't.
You know, he does this thing. I believe it's very similar to almost a Lars von Trier, where all these movies are in his wheelhouse, but they each have a gimmick, right? Trapped is his comedy. Signs is his alien movie. The Village is his cult movie.
What's
happening? I said what's happening
What's
because he wrote in the
happening?
paper and I think it's hilarious. The Happening is his environmental film.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is his, we are hurting the planet, and if we're not careful, it's gonna fucking come back at us until it kills enough of us that it feels okay again.
Now, again, Tak Fujimoto is back on cinematography, but I don't think it looks as good as in Signs.
No, this movie is subpar
This
across
movie
the board.
is fucking dumb. Starring Mark Wahlberg.
Ugh.
Great actor. Zoe Deschanel, amazing actor. John Leguizamo, better than them.
So much
at
better.
Least. Betty Buckley. So, this is probably his most gruesome, right? I mean, people are just killing themselves.
Yeah, Betty Buckley is the old lady in the house that they get scared of. The kind of acting that we're seeing here is we're to believe that Mark Wahlberg is a school teacher. That he is
a science teacher, which doesn't amount to anything, by the way.
No. He gives some theory about bees.
Hey, I think it's the bees, guys.
He acts with his eyebrows. Like when he's concerned, his eyebrows get all crookedy. And Zoe Deschanel just looks like a fucking deer in the headlights the whole time. And listen, if you think the world is ending and you've got to pack up your shit to go get on a train to go somewhere, you don't know when you're going to go back home. How you going to pack all skirts and fucking sleeveless shirts? Wear some fucking tennis shoes.
Cameron from Ferris Bueller is the principal of the school and tells everyone that, like, tells all the teaching staff that something's going on. We don't know what it is. Mark Wahlberg thinks it's the bees. And he and his wife, played by Zoe Deschanel, are supposedly on the outs at this point.
She has an emotional affair with someone else.
And John Leguizamo hilariously hates her.
Immediately and fully.
Now, when they're coming, when they're outside of the school trying to figure out what they're going to do with all this shit that happened in New York that caused people to kill themselves, Leguizamo, he tells him a secret that you'd think he probably would have told him like a long time ago. He's like, I just want to tell you, I've never told you this before. On the day of your wedding, she was crying, man. She hates being married. That's like your best friend?
No, you don't say that because it is your best friend. He just married this woman. You're not going to go to your best friend and be like, hey, I'm real happy for you, but just so you know, I think your wife didn't want to marry you today. You don't say that. You don't tell them that. You just don't.
This guy named Joey keeps calling Zoe. Joey and Zoe. That's got a nice ring. They should have got together. New York City evacuates, and of course it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so it will happen to Philadelphia. And then we're on the fucking train. Zoe Deschanel's line delivery on this train.
You okay? They say Boston got hit too.
Where'd you hear that?
A friend from work. What about Yvette?
Oh gosh, she made it out on the bus.
What the hell is going on, Elliot?
If you want to know how not to do it, this is what I mean when M. Night doesn't seem to see like flat delivery. Whether it be M. Night, Zoe, or Mark Wahlberg, none of these people have the chops to correct each other or themselves. I know Mark Wahlberg has been in good movies, like Boogie Nights is a great movie. I don't think he's complete dog shit. Departed, great movie.
Oh, great. Yes.
Like he has done movies that I think are really good, but I do think like a lot of his movies I've seen, especially in the last decade, are not good, man. Not good.
He needs a lot of direction. And when you're working with a good director, they can pull things out of you. He has the ability, but he can't do it on his own.
Now, Zoe Deschanel, I'm thinking of her 500 Days of Summer, where she's the manic pixie dream girl type.
That's all she is. She's that an elf.
You can picture that out of her easily. Like maybe that'd be the best thing she'd play, or a quirky sitcom girl. To play in this role of this fractured relationship, and even the way it's written is not doing her any favors either, because it's just like there's nothing for the audience to grab onto. There's no passion. There's no. It might as well just be two sticks like slapping against each other. Like it's just so passionless and so dry. And this movie convinced me that Zoe Deschanel may be one of the worst actors we've ever seen. I mean, maybe she can do other things good, or a director who knows how to get things out of people could do better. But she was just fucking dog shit in this movie.
She just is that manic pixie dream girl. That is her show. That is one show that I did not finish watching.
She's married to one of the Property Brothers.
She's married to a Property Brother.
I was sure that the Property Brothers fucked each other. They might still.
She was in that band, He and She.
With M. Ward. Oh my God. Yeah, I'd never spun that.
Yeah.
I saw that shit. I was like, nah, I'm good. Pass.
I don't even know what movies she really did after this. This may have just ruined her acting in movies career. But communication is lost all across the world. Radios don't work. People are dying. Things are falling apart. And this train stops in the middle of nowhere. They all get off the train. And John Leguizamo makes a decision that is the fucking stupidest decision he's ever made. And he pays for it. So he and this car full of people are going to go into Philadelphia to try to find some of their loved ones when we've already been told that Philadelphia has been completely attacked and everyone is gone or dead.
What does he say
he
to...
leaves his kid... Oh, I got it. So Zoe Deschanel, he's mad at her, right? And he's like, I need you to take care of my daughter. I'm going to go find my wife, but I don't want to take my daughter because it could be dangerous, whatever. You have to take care of her. And Zoe goes to, like, grab the little girl's hand, and he goes,
I got her, Julia. Take my daughter's hand unless you mean it.
And, like, I'm on John Leguizamo's character's side because he hates her. And as I keep watching her character in the movie, I'm more and more hating her as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm, like, feeling him. But, like, it was so funny how melodramatic he was. And you can't really tell. I only saw his face in the rearview mirror. But Dante from Clerks, Brian O'Halloran, he's driving that Jeep that has John Leguizamo in it when he drives into a tree. And then he gets out of the Jeep and kills himself.
because they all get infected, and I'm sure you've seen
He gets
this.
happened.
But what happens in the happening is that the wind blows and the plants give off some stuff. And if you smell it, if it gets in you, you immediately, you freeze. And then you kill yourself.
Funniest scene in this whole movie, though, is maybe they're in the train station or something. But there's a lot of people trying to sell the danger through phone calls or watching videos on their phone.
Yes.
And they watch the fucking...
They're in a diner after they stop.
Everyone's gathered around this lady's phone, and they're watching a dude, like, in a lion's pit, like, walk up the lions, like, come on. And it's, like, bad CGI, and he's just walking around without an arm, like, come on, lions.
You see the lion rip his arm off. It is on the level of Final Destination.
But the way that crowd is reacting to that is so minimal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one is that freaked out. They're just like, what's going on?
Mother of God, what kind of terrorists are these?
And there's another scene later where they're not sure about the groups and stuff, and they're getting together, where some lady's trying to call her daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, the daughter, I think, kills herself over the phone.
She does.
But we don't see anything. It's trying to... these people are not selling it.
You just stay in your room. Honey? Honey, you're talking funny. What's wrong with you?
What do you mean? Everyone's dead?
What? Stacy, you're scaring me. I don't understand what you're saying.
This is
This is
the worst acting of all of his movies.
I can't understand you. What's happening?
And
What's happening? It's so bad.
This should be fucking like Mystery Science Theater 3000 should be watching this and laughing at it. This is that level.
The sweetest scene in the whole movie happens in that same moment, though. So, yeah, there's this crossroads where all these people have escaped from where the happening is happening, and they're trying to figure out what to do, and they're all reporting that, like, a couple miles down the road in every direction there's death, right? And so they decide, okay, we have to, it's actually like a 3 cross, I guess, because they decide we have to go the other direction. And before they do that, that happens. And then there's this moment where Mark Wahlberg goes and sits down, and the little girl comes over to him, but he like hugs her and comforts her.
This ring can supposedly tell you what you're feeling. Let's see what you're feeling right now. Ooh, yellow. That's cool. That means you're about to laugh. I'm not making it up. That's what yellow means. You must be about to laugh or something is probably just about to come out. But wait. I've got all day.
And Zoe's watching him. And in this moment, you're supposed to be like, oh, Zoe loves him again. Who gives a shit? He was good with that kid in that moment.
Yeah, that was one of the patented sweet scene involving a child that is in every M. Night movie. And I think Mark pulls this off because he's from a big family with a bunch of kids. So probably being chill and sweet with kids is probably something he can just do.
You know he's like the fun uncle.
Probably, yeah. We get these random characters. Like we get this GI guy who's like Private Pile, like a doofus GI dude. Mm-hmm. And when that lady, when she's talking to her daughter dying on the phone in that very funny scene, the daughter is saying incalculus over and over again. And there's other little things in this movie, like there's when they're trying to figure out how everything's hitting, they point to this map that's like the northeast part, and like things that are noting where the happenings are happening. And they said, it's right here to the dead center. And they point to the left side of the map. Like, it seems like little, like, isn't someone there being like, wouldn't I point to the dead center?
Yeah.
M. Night, you know what I'm saying? And there's another part where they're explaining the difference between local maps and national maps. And feel compelled to do that so you understand that on a national map you can't see the counties. To explain that there's some kind of a secret town that they're trying to go to. This is so stupid.
It's so stupid. This is where we see the most inaction of the plants really trying to like kill these people, because they break up into groups. They realize they can't stay in big groups because, you know, Mark Wahlberg has figured this out even more, and he has theorized that the larger the group, the easier you are to pick off, and that's what's happening. And so he's in the smaller group, so they see this other group die. Look, they are 30 feet, maybe 30 yards if I'm being real, like, generous about it. They're not breathing it in, though. It's like specifically targeting this group of people. It is the dumbest fucking thing. But then, you know, they keep getting broken off and smaller, and the three of them end up coming up on this house, and they're like, it looks abandoned, let's go in. And this is where you get Betty Buckley, and she is this old, crazy woman.
Before we get there, they go up to this house where people are armed inside with a couple of teenagers.
Oh, I forgot.
And they're afraid of whatever's out there getting into the house, even though there's holes in the house, and they should be affected, but they're not affected. And these teenagers lose their shit trying to get in, and they get shot, like murdered, in front of Mark Wahlberg and his terribly acted wife. But then they go and meet Mrs. Jones, the pissy hermit, who randomly explains that,
there's a spring house in the back. They used to hide people from slave chasers back there. It has a speaking tube running under the ground to the main house. You can hear each other like you were in the same room.
Like, she just throws that line out there. You get that in every M. Night movie. Mm-hmm. Every M. Night movie. It's almost like, watching these movies is making me reevaluate, like, the way I'm writing my own kind of stuff. Because I'm seeing, like, bad habits, you know?
Yeah.
And it can be hard, you know, feeling compelled to have to explain everything, but I'm trying to, this reminds me that's like, maybe I don't need to explain everything.
You don't.
And maybe I can rely on visuals to help that.
Visuals and or give your audience a tiny bit of credit for being able to figure anything out. It's like he has this idea that in his mind is so brilliant. Every one of these, it's this brilliant idea that he's got. But he has to make sure that you understand how brilliant that idea is. So he has to beat your fucking head over, beat it over your head, all the little things he put in.
The old lady also weirdly reads their relationship.
So, what's with you two? Who's chasing who?
I'm sorry?
Ain't no time. Two people staring at each other, standing still, loving both their eyes at the same time, equal.
But she's also crazy and has a large doll, and she I think she smashes her own face to death, right? Doesn't she
Yes, she goes outside and gets infected, and so she's like smashing her head against the windows, which is opening it up into the house. And Zoe and the little girl are in this back house.
Which we don't see them go there. It's just very random. And he
doesn't even know they're there until he hears their voice.
So the happening is in the air. You can't see the happening, right?
But it's happening.
It's invisible, but it's happening. So it's trying to sell this scene in which they're split. He's in the house and she's in the old servant house. Remember, the old lady explained that you can talk through a tunnel and it makes it sound like you're right there. So now
just a pipe.
And so and even though this lady explained that to Zoe Deschanel, like when he talks to her, she goes,
Alma!
Good morning, Elliot. Sounds like you're right here.
Oh, I can hear you. It's like she presented like, oh, me and the kid, we're playing in this house. Isn't this a cool house? And then it's like, we can't go out. We can't leave the houses. The happening is happening.
Well, yeah, he's telling her, like, close all the windows and all the doors.
So then they're trying to sell this, like, this scene that's supposed to fix their shitty relationship that never feels like it was being sold in the first place. And then they decide, fuck it, we're going to go out into the happening.
Because we want to be together.
Because we want to be together. And
sorry, I'd rather live the rest of my life with you than like hold you in one moment when I'm scared. If those are the options.
And there's mood rings and shit. And,
oh, God.
3 months later, she's pregnant. And then but the movie ends, we see Paris getting hit.
And they have the baby. The little girl. The little girl is with them. Which John Leguizamo would have hated Zoe raising his child.
I'm giving this a 1. And I would go 0, but it really made me laugh a couple of times. The lion thing and yeah, the explaining the maps.
Yeah.
So we understand the difference between county maps and national maps. Thank you, M. Night. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go 0.75.
Whoa, a point. Okay, so 1.75 for what's happening.
What's happening?
I think that's easily his worst movie so far. I couldn't imagine anything being worse than that. That is so bad.
Yeah.
And a movie that actually has some real creeping in it. Our next discussion is the 2015 film The Visit.
We did see this.
Yeah, we did watch this some years ago. I think around when it was fresher. This is we're in the Blumhouse era of M. Night Shyamalan, and this stars Olivia de Jong, Ed Oxenbould, Deanna Dunnigan. Deanna Dunnigan plays Grandma, and she's great.
Oh yes.
Peter McRobbie, Catherine Hahn. What we got going here is, well, we're in a documentary gimmick, which is exhausted real quick.
Yeah, because it's the entire movie.
The son and daughter, exact same dynamics as other movies.
Yep.
And the daughter wants to be a documentary filmmaker, so the movie is forced from this constant perspective. And I get the draw of the gimmick, but then you get to this point where insane shit is happening, and like it would be a lot more natural to put the camera down. She's not like a wartime journalist or anything. This is a teenage girl who's learning things about her family.
Well, part of it is she's wanting to document what the fuck is happening because it's crazy. But yes, you could have used this in moments that could have been interesting as part of it. But then also see outside of that camera.
We did have some shots that were separate because I felt like he realized he had to do it sometimes. But like it was
I don't even recall.
Very random. There's just certain points. But yeah, like it would have just been better to see her. Like it didn't all have to be from her perspective 99.9% of the time. It just forces it into a corner, you know? But they're going to go meet their grandparents for the first time, and they signify that they're from a working class family. And when mom says that she's a Walmart sales rep, I guess that means cashier, who's been estranged for 15 years after a conflict surrounding her marriage to the kid's father,
who is no longer her husband, bad guy,
who's a bad guy, and he's gone, and she's going on a cruise with her boyfriend. And so we see throughout the movie they're talking to mom on FaceTime on a laptop, and these are dumb scenes too, where the mom's just like, well, they're like, grandma and grandpa are crazy. Like there's one point where they're incontinents and they find a bunch of grandpa's dirty diapers. And another part where they're playing hide and seek under the house, which is actually a very creepy scene, where grandma's like, we suddenly see her crawling around under there. Like, and what's really funny with the documentary force thing is that when the daughter's freaking out from the grandma under the house, you see her crawling away. She's holding the camera up to her eye.
I didn't even clock that.
See, I got so locked into the bad gimmick idea that like I was noticing how they were doing that in every step of the way.
The brother had a second camera, though, right?
Yeah, they both had a camera.
Yeah, so there was also that. You could excuse it away that way. I need to, 1 second, I just need to tell you, just for the record, that yes, the scenes with the mother were not great, but Kathleen Madigan, she's like on my list.
Yeah.
I think she's super hot. She's in Agatha all along.
Oh, right, who plays Agatha Harkness, the Marvel Comics character.
Yep.
The son here he fancies himself a rapper by the name of T Diamond Stylus.
Oh God.
Why are your pants so low? I rap.
And yeah, we have to hear him rap.
Girl, I'm chilling again. I'm feeling again. I'm like Iron Man and Batman. I'm a hero again. Oh, you think I'm little, but last month I grew 1.25 inches again. You think you're too good for me, but that's really a joke. Cause see, that doesn't bother me cause I'm not a sensitive bloke.
And every time he's rapping, I'm just imagining M. Night writing the raps. It's with no other director in this world. Every time I watch his movies, I just picture him like typing it up.
Oh,
like,
this is good. This is good.
Now, the grandparents say, oh, there's mold in the basement, so you don't want to go down there. And they can't leave the room after 9:30.
They explain everything away. They each have these moments of not being in the same room. The grandfather, like once a day, tries to put on a suit to go to a party. The grandmother, walks around at night.
Vomiting.
Naked, vomiting, scratching at the walls.
Like a kitty cat.
The grandpa tells them that the grandma has sundowning, which is a total thing, and she has dementia, and so it's worse at night, and they just have to stay in their rooms and just let her do her thing. She'll be fine. Then grandma explains away everything about the grandpa in that, the party thing, he just gets confused sometimes. But the incontinence thing is real fucking weird.
Pop-Pop's they find a bunch of Pop-Pop's dirty diapers
out in the shed where he keeps them. Because he's embarrassed.
They go to the
They
go to the high school that their mom went to, and Pop like attacks a guy. He thinks he's like, and I love the part where Grandma's clawing the walls. Again, the Grandma's played by Deanna Dunnigan.
She's brilliant.
She's carrying the whole fucking movie. When they're explaining all this shit, the mom is just like, well, they're old. But
the daughter says that for a long time to the brother.
But the thing is, that's still enough crazy shit to maybe be like, okay, like, yeah, they are old. Yeah, they have these issues. But grandma naked scratching at the walls like a kitty cat, that might be like, you might have to leave.
Yeah. And they're only supposed to be there for, I think, 4 nights. And they count down the days. This is one of those where you see every day that's happening. They give you like a little title card. Throughout this week, different people come to the door to see the grandparents and talk about how, they're counselors down at the hospital and everybody's really been missing them. And oh my gosh, there's some shit going down at the hospital and they need to tell the gossip, but they always just miss the grandparents. And that shit that's going down at the hospital is that 2 crazy pantses escaped.
Grandma fits out over any questions about the past. There's one point where she's just laughing. And
God.
Remember, they're all doing their little documentary, and the son's like, Grandma's laughing while watching TV. And then they round the corner, and Grandma's just rocking and staring at the wall. Mm-hmm. They would know if there was no TV in that room, and they've been there long enough to know that there would or wouldn't be a TV in that room. So it was a little odd that, like, the son was like, oh, Grandma's laughing while she's watching TV. It's like, no, there's no TV there.
I don't think that's the thing you need to pick on so hard. I mean, because you hear someone laughing, you're going to think they're laughing at something.
But there's the thing with M. Night movies. He's so compelled to explain so much
that he over-explains and doesn't make sense.
That you can't help but then just start like really overthinking it your own self with what he does or doesn't explain.
I agree. It truly could have been, I wonder what Grandma's laughing at, and then you go in and she's at the wall.
But this movie does have decent tension. The tension is good. It really
does.
And I think M. Night is not bad at tension. So at the very least. And the cinematography is usually good in his movies too. So like there's always something to see. In terms of framing shots and stuff, like he does kind of know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Just let someone else write it. So the siblings, I love the part where they go in and Pop has the gun in his mouth.
I'm just cleaning it.
There's some creepy images in this movie.
So the siblings also have their own emotional damage stories, and from
their dad leaving,
and this kid's telling this dumb fucking story about how he's in Pee-wee football and he froze. And also there's a neighbor named Stacy who comes and checks, and we see Stacy get into an argument from far away with
I think she's also from the hospital.
Stacy was?
I thought so.
Stacy was just a neighbor who knew.
Okay.
They watch Stacy argue with their grandparents and then don't think much of it. And so there's a point now where we reach the climax. As you can imagine, these aren't really the kids' grandparents. And it's revealed when the kids are talking to their mom on FaceTime, and then they're like, oh, Grandma, Grandpa are outside, see? And they hold the laptop as if that's an amazing camera that you can see from far
Which
away.
also, Grandma a while ago sprayed like oven cleaner on it, so the camera has not been working. But they've been trying to clean it off this whole time.
Now you sent your kids off to go stay with someone, and they have, with their laptop, they show that the people they're with are not their actual grandparents or your parents. Now, immediately you would go, that's not your grandparents.
No.
That's not your grandparents. No, get out of the house. No, she's like, kids, listen to me. Listen to me.
I think that
listen
makes
to me.
sense.
And Nana walks around at night with a knife. And Pop-Pop had a gun in his mouth.
Tyler.
He was trying to hurt himself.
Becca, Tyler, babies. I need you to listen to me very carefully. Becca, Tyler, just listen to me.
We are.
Those aren't your grandparents.
I think that makes sense because she doesn't want them to freak out and start screaming because she is scared to death. She went into like, Mom has to take care of this situation mode. It's her fault. It's her fucking fault for not checking it. She hasn't seen these people in 15 years. I don't care if they're your parents or not. You drop those kids off yourself. You look them in the eyes. You don't just send your kids 4 hours away to go see some people that you haven't seen in 15 years.
100% mom's fault.
100% mom's fault. And I think in that moment, she doesn't want them to freak out. And they're just still talking. And she's like, stop. Those are not your grandparents. I am going to call the police. Like, I think it's one of those things.
It seemed
like,
a little too calm.
I don't know, because it's like when, this is not a good comparison whatsoever, but it's like the first time I surprised you when we got a flat tire, and instead of freaking out at all, I just got out and I was like, well, I'm just going to change the tire. And I
did it
got
in like
it out,
5
I changed
minutes.
the tire, I didn't complain, and we got back in the car, because what else are you going to do but fucking change the tire? There was no reason of getting upset and whatever, and like, her freaking out is not going to help anything.
But she is, based on the what little information we get about her, she is overtly emotional.
She does get frantic though, because
Yeah.
cops won't answer the phone, and she's like, "Okay, I'm coming, and I'm going to keep calling, and you just have to like be okay."
You know, when you call the cops and you get the answer machine,
It's a small town.
they still got
But it
911.
takes 4 hours.
You call 911.
I know. It takes 4 hours for her and the policeman, and in that 4 hours, shit goes down.
So the kids are playing along really way too much. They just should have kind of went out the door and ran. But they're playing along with the grandparents, and they know. And there was this great tension scene where Deanna Dunnigan is getting daughter to clean the stove.
Oh, God.
And it's great. Nothing happens to that. But she does it again. And this time the kids know that's not their real grandparents, but her stupid ass still gets into the oven. It's dumb.
Yeah, they're trying to appease, and this time she closes the fucking oven door on her.
And of course, Tyler, they do end up finding their actual grandparents' corpses and jackets for a Maple Shade Psychiatric Hospital. Yeah. And Tyler's in the kitchen with Grandpa, who takes his diaper off, and Tyler's freezing like a little bitch.
Like he did on the Pee Wee baseball.
You have a problem with germs, don't you?
And the grandpa shoves a dirty diaper right in his face. We're like,
of all the scary, I just hit my mic, I'm so upset. Of all the awful and scary things we've seen in all the movies that we've ever seen, that is
a memorable ass scene.
One of the most disgusting and terrifying and truly, I can watch The Terrifier and not feel like I'm going to puke. This, I feel nauseous right now thinking about it. You put shit in my face, and this kid also had an issue with germs. So they were like real getting him, right? He talks later about it, but like he has a real issue with germs. He always had to wash his hands. And so to put shit in this kid's face, that would never be okay. But this kid is also, he's sitting there frozen thinking about all the diseases he now has.
So Nana, she ends up getting stabbed. They stab Nana, and Pop, the Tyler finally drops his nuts and crushes Pop's head in the fridge.
Yes.
And they kill their fake grandparents. And then we go to the ending, and this is the mom reiterates the story of what separated them.
So fucking dumb.
Let me see if I can get through this. Keep in mind, she's a grown adult. She's grown. She's a young adult probably, but she is grown when this occurs. She tells a story, we don't really know why. I think it had something to do with her marriage or that they didn't approve or something.
That is exactly it.
So the daughter goes,
I moved to the door to leave, and my mom
stepped in front of me. I hit my mother. And then my dad hit me. And then we kind of stood there in shock, and then I left. They reached out to me soon after. I refused to take their calls.
I hit my mother. She hit first. The daughter, or the father, hit her. And then she ran. You were a grown-ass woman who popped your mother in the face?
They reached out to her and she never responded. She's like, it's not that they didn't want me. It was there anytime I wanted it. I pushed them away.
Well, so she does acknowledge that it is her fault, but...
Yeah, she was 18, at least.
If anyone, hit you...
Yeah.
I don't care who they are. They're getting decked in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
So, dad's just treating you like the grown person you think you are, and then you ran away for 15 fucking years like a little bitch. And it's not the mom's fault that some mental patients, and keep in mind, mentally ill people are more likely to have crimes committed against them.
Absolutely.
It's not her fault that mentally ill people killed her parents, but it is her fault that the kids never knew, and it is her fault that they weren't set up to be able to recognize their own fucking grandparents. And you should have just... I don't know. I hated the mother. In case you couldn't tell, I just didn't like that character.
Well, because even at the end, when she's holding them, it's like, I don't know, too little too late, man. Too little too late. This mom was off on a cruise fucking some guy while her kids were being, gaslit.
I like this a little less the second time I watched it. I liked it okay the first time I watched it because I just remember the crawling under the house scene. And that was really cool and creepy. Mm-hmm. So there are some good creep moments in here, but God, there's just so much annoying shit. I'm just like Natalie and Bruglia, I'm torn.
That's what's going on. Nothing's right, I'm torn.
I will go first. I think that it is a little above mid for me because the premise is interesting, and the first time we watched it, it was really good. But it has the M. Night Shyamalan problem of you can't rewatch it and like it as much because then you start picking apart all the stuff that makes no sense at all. Mm. And so I am going to give this, for me, the same as Signs. I'm going to give it a 2.75.
I think I'm there with you. So it's another 5.5.
Oh, did you guys just hear Bobby say that he was doing the same score as me?
Yeah. So moving on to another weird fucking movie.
I wanted to see this so bad, and you know what? We watched it.
This is an example of overriding to the nth degree.
Lord.
M. Night Shyamalan did not rely on quiet emotion. Even when characters were alone, they were talking to themselves. This is a movie where the reveals need to be you let the actors act and you let the scenes kind of decompress. But this is one of the most over-explained movies I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. There's just so much talking. There's just, no one can even feel a feeling or express an emotion because they're having to spout out all this dumb over-explaining dialogue. But it's vacation time for Old 2021, starring Gail Garcia Bernal, Vicky Krieps, Rufus Sewell, Alex Wolff, Thomasin McKenzie, Ken Leung, who played Glenn in The Walking Dead, and many more.
He was the only recognizable person to me. I think the doctor looked familiar, but this is a case of M. Night Shyamalan is not a good director.
This is based on a book called Sandcastle by Pierre Oscar Levy and Frederick Peters.
I bet that book was interesting, but
I don't know.
This movie, the concept is interesting, I guess. They go to this island and they get old. People put them there.
A couple with 2 kids. The kids have the exact same dynamic as every kid we've ever seen in his movies.
Older daughter, younger brother.
We get that the wife has a medical thing. I think this is the same lady that was in Speak No Evil.
Oh, yes, and she is really good.
Yeah,
She's a really good actress. Yeah, that we find out that the parents are going to split up, but they're going to wait until after this vacation. And she has, yes, a medical issue. But I liked that conversation with them before all the crazy stuff starts happening because the kids are in the other room hearing them fight. I like the way they approached that, though, because it was kind of one of the times when I don't feel like they over explained. And she was just saying to him, yes, I do have this issue, but that has nothing to do with the fact that we were on a trajectory to split.
Yeah.
The way that scene was handled was actually pretty okay.
Because it's vague, which is something that M. Night he's vague at first, but it's going to be over-explained later.
The kids make this little friend, and he's adorable, and he tells the boy, I don't have any friends because everybody leaves me.
At this resort is also this rich, horny trophy wife with an English doctor husband.
And his mother.
Ken Leung's character is married to a psychiatrist, so they're all there. Everyone's kind of got some money, right? And the dad, the main dad character works in insurance, and he notices that there's pharmaceutical ads all over this resort. Mm-hmm. But
it was a little confusing, to be honest. Like, why is there a pharmaceutical brochure in your hotel room?
It seemed like they want to keep that quiet, considering the reveal.
Well, and there was stuff, too, that was like, looked like they were having a convention for this thing. Yeah, you're right. It was whatever. It's too much always.
But they get a line of someone who works there is like, hey, you want to go to a secret beach?
I don't invite everyone. I only invite special people.
At least a dozen people is all I invite. So yeah, they end up going to the secret beach, and the daughter recognizes a celebrity there, a rapper by the name of Mid-Size Sedan.
M. Night Shyamalan has never
he listened
to rap. He doesn't understand how rappers name them. Mid-Size Sedan.
That's the name of an irony-pilled white rapper.
Jesus.
Not like a real actual rapper.
Yeah, that's like a kid, a white rapper kid who really had a lot of money in the suburbs growing up.
Like that Little Dicky guy. That's like something like he would have called himself.
Thinks he's like sticking it to his mom by calling himself Mid-Size Sedan. Sharon.
Well, his girl went swimming and she came back dead, and it was funny how her body floated into the
one of the kids. Her.
Because when Glenn from The Walking Dead, Ken Leung, he goes to swim later, and his body floats into the girl.
Yeah.
So each of the kids have a body float into them.
Because you can't get out of here.
There's a lot of fucking junk in the sand, and there's no fish in the water. So now we got like weird shit going on. There's an invisible wall in the cave. They see light shining on a hill and people watching them, and they can't leave. Every time they go into this cave, they mystically get dumped back onto this beach. Do they see them get ported onto the beach?
I was actually going to talk about this. They try at the end to give a scientific explanation for what is happening. And yet, the whole thing where you go in, they say you black out, but you always land in the beach on the same spot. If Bobby and I went through this thing together, presumably, we would get in there, our head would start hurting, and then we would both be laying out on the beach in the sand.
Yeah.
It does not make any sense. It's like prestige bullshit.
Do they see them porting onto the beach?
They never say
they do.
Well, there's one part where I think someone turns around and sees someone who's just ported back, but you don't see them port. But it doesn't make any sense because that is supernatural.
As you've probably figured out, and I kind of knew this was the theme just from the name of the movie.
I mean, they tell you. It's in the poster.
Yeah, that everyone is aging rapidly on this beach.
So the old lady dies because she's already old.
So you get exactly what's going on, but we're sitting through a lot of like exposition here to explain everyone is just dealing with everything out loud.
Yeah.
We just have to make a decision. The kids are reacting to something. It's a virus. It's probably a virus. I just need to catch my breath. I just started feeling weird a minute ago.
Are you okay, Mom?
Mom?
What's wrong?
Are you okay, Mom?
I don't think it's
She has a tumor.
What?
But it's benign. They said it's benign.
Oh my God.
Mom?
We know from Unbreakable that M. Night Shyamalan is a comic book nerd.
Yes.
He writes this movie like fucking comic book exposition from a comic from like the 80s or the 70s. Like a superhero comic, you know how the exposition is crazy. They're explaining like a little too much constantly. It is just like that. There's just no room for real emotion, this is a movie that just begs for a quiet scene to lead into these reveals. But when we're setting up and we see the siblings talking to each other and we don't see them and we know that we're going to see them age, but like it just feels like it's just dragging to have the reveal that we all know is so obvious. And there's a couple other moments like this throughout too, where it's like, we know everyone's aging. We don't have to have this slow build to the reveal.
Yeah.
3 times.
There's really not much story to this. There's a few moments that I would like to mention. I do think the teenage son does a pretty decent job. I like that at the beginning, they just think something's wrong with their children.
Yeah.
Because the children are the only ones noticeably aging. They do figure out
but they don't notice each other aging.
Not right away, but then they start getting, well, because when you're older, you don't look all that different after a year. When you're 11, you fucking do. So they figure out that in a day you would age 50 years, right? And so the scene I had heard about, and this is the thing I want to talk about, is that the little boy and the little girl, not his sister, there's another little girl, the doctor's daughter, they are friends. They go into the tent. I don't remember them setting up a tent, but they're in a tent. So they go into a tent and they're talking about how scared they are, and you're kind of seeing like, you know, parts of them, and they're like, I don't know what's happening to me. Oh, also at the same time, the daughter has a conversation with Midsize Sedan where she says, I feel like weird things are happening to me.
My thoughts have more colors in them now. Yesterday I had a few colors, and they were really strong, and now I have more, and they're quieter.
I used to think in very bright colors, but there were only a few. And now I think in a lot of colors, but they're not as bright. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's her like trying to explain because she is a child trying to explain more complicated feelings.
Now, when you grew up, your thoughts had more colors in them than when you were little, right?
Sure.
I thought she was kind of alluding that she had synesthesia or something.
No, I think that
But
was
they never
him
mentioned it
trying
again.
to be very poetic in describing like a simple child's mind growing very rapidly into a teenage mind and not knowing how to say that. I didn't hate that part. I thought it was interesting. I think it could have been done better, but I was worried something was going to happen with her and Midsize Sedan at that point because she was looking like a lady. And so the kids are in the tent. They come out. She pregnant.
Kara, what did you do?
We were just playing. It's okay. I just got a little fat. Mom, you're better.
And they said, what you did is how babies are made. And the kid goes, I mean, I knew that. I don't know what he said, but also he's 6. So like, why does he know about sex? But anyway, when you don't know, you can figure that stuff out. Like your bodies are changing, whatever. But
every half hour is 1 year.
So she's pregnant.
And so from conception to birth is 20 minutes. So when he was nutting, he was nutting for like days.
Exactly. And so she's going to have this baby within moments. They deliver the baby. Oh, because Glenn is a nurse, and they deliver the baby. The doctor is losing his mind. He's been like deteriorating. He's getting a little crazy and unreliable. We go away. She has the baby. We come back. The baby's dead.
We put him on the towel to clean him up. He looked around and closed his eyes. We had him on the towel for 1 minute. He died from lack of attention.
From lack of attention, from lack of human touch.
When they said that, we both just guffawed out loud watching this movie.
Done.
They set the baby on the blanket and it died from lack of human contact. Okay, so you get the concept, right?
It should have starved to death, if anything.
What about periods? What about like your hair growing? What about hunger? These people should be constantly hungry.
They do send them with a lot of food, and the kids are eating more, but they really don't make a big deal about it. They should need to eat constantly. They try to say that your hair and your fingernails are not affected because it's like how they keep growing when you're dead, because those are not living things.
When the grandma dies, her body becomes bones and like
someone should have gone bald.
Yeah, the hairline should have been going back.
Exactly. That should happen.
The hair should have been growing long, and the hairline should have been going back.
They should have all had like really long fingernails. This thing.
One of my favorite, a couple of things that I thought were really funny, one intentional and one not, was when mid-size sedan, he's a black man, and he doesn't look like he's aging, and he says to the other black woman there, he goes, I bet this is the first time they wish they were black, because, as you know, black don't crack.
Exactly.
But Asian ages slow too. So you could say, if black don't crack, Asian ain't aging.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know?
Yep.
There's a point where Charles, the dementia doctor, who's got the dementia,
he's not a dementia doctor. He just has dementia.
He just has dementia.
He's like
Dr.
a heart
Dementia. Kim Jong is sitting by him, and he's like stabbing the sand. Like, who are you? Who are you? And Kim Jong, I'm going to clip this because this is funny the way it was delivered.
I used to see you in our neighborhood. Who are you?
I'm Jared!
I am Jared!
I'm Jared!
I am Jared!
I'm Jared!
Okay, Jaren. They do find a notebook in the sand because someone happened to write down exactly what's going on. The minerals.
Yeah, it was another kid's diary.
It's all the minerals.
And it's the minerals. That's why there's no fish. Fish can't live there. Magnets. They figure out it probably is magnets. So they think, oh, if we could build like a metal tube around us. There's no fucking metal. They can't do that. Ken, his wife, has seizures, and she has a seizure. She has grandma seizures. She has seizure, and then she'll pause, and then she'll seize again. And this goes on for, in this world, an hour.
Yeah.
Like, she basically has a seizure for over an hour.
We see her have her seizure early on, and then she doesn't until the very end. But when she's seizing, it's like equivalent to like hours.
And it's so much that she... You know, she doesn't die, I don't think, but he's like,
She dies at the end. I think she dies from
they
a
all,
seizure.
Yeah, oh, that's right, okay. The magnetism, they say, is so strong that that's what gives you a headache and throws you back. So he's like, well, if we just walk like a step and then wait to acclimate, and then another step and wait to acclimate, I mean, then you at least wouldn't have died. You could try that.
The doctor with dementia, Charles, he gets stabbed with a rusty knife, so his body's poisoned in like seconds because he's like killing people.
He killed mid-sized sedan.
Yeah. And then they realize like everyone has an ailment of some sort. Jaren's wife seizes.
I'm Jaren!
The mom has a tumor, and everyone has something wrong with them.
Mid-sized sedan's nose bleeds the whole time because he had like a blood
Some
clotting
blood
disorder.
disease. We do get one really sweet scene when the parents, which they could have looked older, honestly, where the family converge on the beach, and the kids are like in their 40s at this point, and the parents, there was infidelity and they had some trouble, but the father, he can't remember, like he loses his vision, she loses her hearing, and he talks about how he can't remember why they were fighting.
Well, whatever it was, I'm not mad anymore. I can't remember. Why did we want to leave this beach?
And that it's just nice on this beach. And that was actually like the best scene in the movie. That was, again, he is capable of giving us at least one very sweet scene. And I actually liked this part. Probably the only part of the movie I really liked, other than the shit I thought was funny.
No, I agree. I felt more like I was going to cry right now listening to you speak about it, though, than when I was watching it. But it was very sweet because he, you know, like you said, he says, were we fighting? And she's like, yeah, we were. And he's like, well, I don't remember why. And then it didn't matter. And they passed away. Next morning, the kids are still alive somehow. They should have died overnight, I think.
They're 50 years old. They're middle aged at this point, and they figure out that they got to get to the coral.
They knew to go through the coral because the kid back at the resort had sent him a note that he had to decode.
Right. He decoded the note. That's how they knew to go to the coral. And so they do go to the coral, and they're swimming through it. But she gets her blouse stuck on a coral. And it seems like you just pull your body out of the blouse. But she doesn't. And so it appears like they drown because M. Night Shyamalan, who's working for this resort, he's always in his own movies. He calls it They Drown, and then it's come to reveal that this is all ran by the Warren and Warren Company, and they're using this natural reverse fountain of youth, I call it the Cove of Crone, to test medications. And this guy reveals, they call this group Trial 73, and they kind of give an ode to them, like rest in peace, Trial 73. But they reveal that because the woman was there who had the seizures.
Her name was Patricia Carmichael. She suffered debilitating seizures her whole life. Nothing could help her. The medicine we gave her when she arrived turned out to be the exact mixture. She didn't have a seizure for 8 hours and 17 minutes. 16 and a half years. We cured her of her epilepsy.
That pill worked for 40 years, so they could just treat her again over time if she has access to the medicine, and that cures epilepsy. So through this, it's run by this pharmaceutical testing company, but our siblings reveal that they survived.
Yeah, they come up, and the way they dose you is they make you a drink that you're going to drink, because they make it to, like, they ask you ahead of time what you like. So they make you your favorite drink, and you drink it unwittingly. They walk up and knock it over, and then he just starts talking. This was great, because he just is like, this is my name. This is what's happening. These are what these people are doing.
And they hand the notebook to a cop that's there, and the police come so quickly.
They do.
Like, the police have never been this active to accusations against wealthy people ever in the history.
Well, yes, but I was going to say it's a rich part of town, so you would think then the police would respond quickly to try to squash whatever's happening. So.
Yeah, maybe that makes more sense that they would show up there. Let's pretend that that's how it happened. But it's also weird because this is a pharmaceutical testing company that is targeting the wealthy. Now, what you do, look, I'm not trying to put evil ideas in anyone's head, is that you just, like, wealthy people are going to have people looking for them. Or are going to have all these resources that have to be accounted for, businesses that they run, properties that they run, that it will just be very strange if, like, all these wealthy people are going to this resort and they could all be traced to this resort and they're dying.
Well, they go to their house and, like, scrub it of every...
Well, that's like a throwaway fucking line, right? But no, what you would do is you would find poor families, send them emails or letters saying you won. Like, that would be a way to do it where it would actually take longer to get caught if you're going seriously on this concept. I mean, I know I'm taking it too seriously and I'm overanalyzing it too much, but you got to understand this movie explains so much that it's just what doesn't get explained is just completely stands out to ridiculous.
Well, but they're sacrificing the rich in this one case.
And also, if they are, maybe I'm not against this company then.
No.
I mean, they are.
But the kids.
The kids are sad, but they are having medical breakthroughs that can actually save millions of lives here.
And they do, like you said, they have this moment of silence. I don't know. When the kid comes out, though, everyone is genuinely fucked up about it. Like, they all are like, oh, God. It's like it becomes real. None of these people see any of these people. The only one is the guy who picks them, and he's in charge of the whole thing. And he never gets emotional about it, but everyone around him who's been working for him and for this thing, they all immediately are like, oh my God, this is what we're doing, which, like, that is annoying as well because they're all bad because they're all doing this.
Shit's fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
Give it a 2.
Yeah, well, I'm not even gonna. I think I'm a 1.5.
I'm Jared! I really like the sweet scene, so I'll give it a 2.
I'm giving it a 1.5
I kind of like
the dead baby and the sweet scene.
I kind of like the idea. Like, there's like the idea of it and how you think about it is kind of interesting, but it just was not handled.
No.
This seemed like a very hard story to tell. So 3.5 for old.
Yeah.
Our final selection for M. Night's Thrills and Chills. And after this episode, we have only 4 M. Night Shyamalan movies to go. Lady in the Water, His first two movies that I can never remember the name of, they're neither thrilling nor chilling. And the critically acclaimed The Last Airbender, universally beloved movie. And that's going to be rough when we just finish that off, I think. When we finish all those off, it's going to be rough. It's probably going to be even worse than here. But if I had to give you my top 3 M. Night movies, number 1, you know it, Split.
Split. Me too.
My number 2 is... Wait, did I already forget what my number 2 was? Oh, Sixth Sense. That's my number 2. My number 3 is this one. And this one, it has its issues. But I was pretty well in this movie. And I think the acting in this movie is actually really good. We're talking about the movie that came out just a few years ago called Knock at the Cabin. When the screenplay here is co-written by M. Night, but also by Steve Desmond and Michael Sherman, based upon the book by Paul Tremblay, The Cabin at the End of the World, starring Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, and Ben Aldridge. I thought all 3 of them were really good.
Yes.
Nicky Amuga-Bird, Kristen Cooey, Abby Quinn, Rupert Grint is in this movie. He's from the Harry Potter movies. Jaron Blaschke and Lowell A. Meyer. I thought their cinematography was good here. I thought this was a nice looking movie as well.
Yes.
And I actually really thought that the way Dave Bautista delivers, and maybe it's not all his dialogue, there's 3 writers here, but I felt like Dave Bautista delivers the M. Night style dialogue actually pretty well.
He was very impressive in this.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Mostly what I've seen is, Guardians of the Galaxy style, like he's just a big guy and he has good comedic timing.
He's the guy that's getting a lot of makeup put on him in movies. Yeah.
In this, though, he still looks like that. I mean, he's huge, but he is gentle.
I'm here to be your friend. So hopefully we won't be strangers for too long. What's your name?
Wenling. But everyone calls me Wen.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Wen. My name's Leonard.
He does sell that too. Like,
yeah,
he's a second grade teacher, and he does successfully, like, it makes you wish you had him as a teacher when you were in the second grade.
Yeah,
right?
Even at the beginning when he walks up on the little girl and she's sitting outside, for 1 second you're like, is about something bad gonna happen? Because he starts saying like, I want to be your friend. I'm here to make friends with you.
It is kind of creepy.
It is creepy. But then it does very quickly switch to you're like, okay, I don't think he's going to hurt her. But then that's when you see the other people come through the woods with weapons and you know it's bad.
There's a same-sex parental couple and their daughter, Wynn, their adopted daughter, Wynn. They're vacationing in a cabin. And Dave Bautista, Leonard, shows up, as you said, and talks to this little girl very sweetly. And he says to her,
if you could look inside, you'd see that my heart is broken.
Why is it broken?
Because of what I have to do today.
What do you have to do? Are they your friends?
You're my friend, Wen. No matter what happens, I want you to remember that.
Again, I like his delivery here.
Yep.
M. Night should probably put him in more movies because he can kind of deliver his hack writing like better than a lot of people.
It's very true.
So, 4 people with these weird custom weapons, including Leonard, played by Dave Bautista, they cut the phone line and they're way out in the woods, so there's no cell signal. And we do, one of the dads does reveal that there is a gun in a safe in the truck. So, but these people basically tie them up. And the 2 dads' performances here, and some of the flashbacks actually did work. The thing where it's like, is that the same guy that gay bashed me at a bar seemed a little pointless. Like some of the angles there. But like, I like that it did explain the intensity of like the Eric and the Andrew character and how angry Andrew is and how it's sold and why he bought that gun. That does make sense. I thought these are like Broadway guys, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, Jonathan Groff is. I don't really know about the other guy. He may be as well.
I thought they did great in this movie.
Did really great. I think that this is the guy that attacked me in the bar, It does make sense to me. I don't think it was the guy. But he's trying to find a reason, and he's like, oh, you're targeting us because we're gay. You know, like, you don't like that we have a kid, that we're, you know, whatever. And so he's trying to relate it back. Now, he does actually get the guy's wallet at the end, and it does turn out to be the same guy, which is so bizarre.
I would have.
There was no point in that. They should have left that out. Yeah, because him just being like paranoid and trying to make a reason makes sense to me. It being the guy does not make any sense.
So the 4 people with the weird weapons, we got Sabrina the nurse, Leonard the second grade teacher, Redmond is a masshole from Massachusetts. Other people in New England know what we're talking about.
I'm disagreeing. I agree.
I come from massholes.
Mm-hmm.
They're in my blood.
You came from a masshole?
Yeah, I was born out of a masshole. And we have Adrian, who is a cook, and they all had visions that drew them together of an apocalypse. And it doesn't explain why. It doesn't really need to. Mm-mm. I mean, it's an apocalyptic vision. It inherently doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't seem it needs to happen at all, but that's just the nature of apocalyptic prophecy, I suppose. This family, they have to pick one of themselves to kill.
And they have to kill them.
It can't be suicide. They have to kill them. And if they don't, then four events will occur that will ultimately end the world, and they will be the only ones left, but only long enough to see the world die, and then they will die. Leonard is like, it's time to make a choice.
And every time you say no to us, something bad will happen.
And so they're like, for the first time, like, yeah, you're crazy. I think we all would have done that. They're all tied up.
Oh, also, Jonathan Groff has been hit in the back of the head because, of course, they're trying to defend themselves when their house gets broken into. And so the nurse hits him in the head, and she's kind of doctored him, but he's got a concussion. So he's concussed, and, you know, he's seeing like bright lights are fucking with him. He's the more sensitive one, and the other dad is the more like, I need to get my gun. Not in a bad way, but just like, I need to protect my family.
The 4 events are flood, plague, skies will fall, and God's finger will burn the earth. And another maybe unintentionally funny scene to me. Of course, because Andrew is just, he comments on how they're targeted all the time. So he assumes that this group is probably homophobic or something. Right. But the group's like, no, we're super woke. Yeah. No, we're cool. And I love that scene where they have to be like, no, this horrible shit that's happening, nah, we're totally down with you. In fact, we're even more woker than you are, actually. Woker than you are.
Doesn't Leonard at some point say something like, we had no idea, you're just the ones that have to decide. And you know, I was shocked to find you all here. This isn't, you know, we didn't pick you. You were picked.
My cousin's gay.
I mean, they all give these speeches about who they are and why they're, you know, like who they are. Because they're like, we want you to understand we're just regular people as well. Through time, we do explain, like you said, they've seen these visions. But yeah, the first one. So
they don't make the choice. So
they say no.
Rupert Grint's character of Redmond puts a white mask over his head.
Fuck. I'm scared. Keep looking at me, okay? Don't you fucking look away from me.
And they take their custom weapons and they fucking kill him.
After he says,
part of humanity,
a section of the world has been judged or something.
Has been judged.
Yeah, something
There's
like that.
There's a sentence they all say, but it's like their thing that they're bringing down as part of the apocalypse. He's saying like killing him makes that happen.
And yeah, so this is the journey for the rest of the movie. And another funny thing that happens over and over, they prove this by time to turn on the TV, and then they see the enacting of each apocalyptic event.
Yeah, the water there's tsunamis, people are dying.
And that is the funny part. I think ultimately I do like this movie, but it was just so funny to me that like, you won't make a choice? Boom. Kill one of us, turn the TV on, look at this evidence. And of course they all think it's rigged or whatever. And you don't blame him for thinking that.
Of course, again, Andrew's trying to figure it out. And he's like, oh, this must be pre-recorded, or you knew when this was going to air.
The chef is like, actually I have a kid, and I've seen that kid burn a lot.
In her vision.
In my vision. and I'm next if you don't agree, and they don't agree, and then they kill her.
Because, I mean, duh. The decision is, do I let these crazy people kill each other in front of me, or do I turn and kill one of the people I love most in the world? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to kill my husband or my child.
Eric is a very sympathetic guy. And he also says that he saw a guy in a mirror, and later in a light. And maybe I should have wound to look, but I almost want to go back to see if there is something extra.
I remember the flash happening because I was like, oh, that's weird. Because I thought maybe something was going to happen because it kind of happened over Leonard's shoulder. And I remember the flash, but there probably was a figure in there for us or something that looked like it.
So they see, two apocalyptic events have occurred, and then their daughter Wynn does a bratty distraction, and Andrew gets loose and gets to his gun, and he backs Sabrina off, and they go back inside the house, and so everyone's loose, and they're having this convo, and Leonard is trying to calm him down. Sabrina tries to get the drop on him, and he shoots her. Mm-hmm. So she's down, but not quite dead. And Leonard is hiding in the bathroom. He manages to get the gun away from Andrew because he's a big, strong man who got the drop on him. He, again, tells them to make a choice. They're like, fuck you. And then he puts the mask on Sabrina's head and finishes her off right there. So he's left. So he's like, it has to go now.
Airports around the globe are canceling flights.
It is hard. Excuse me.
Excuse me. It is hard to describe
the images that we are seeing. They fill us with disquietude and horror. We are witnessing a collective tragedy unfathomable only moments before. We're getting word of more airlines.
Again, turn on the TV. Planes are falling out of the sky.
Yeah, and he says, once this happens, once I am gone, you will have mere moments to make your decision, and if you don't, the world is going to end.
So Leonard wants to go on the back deck, and he's got a knife, a custom knife, and he tells them that and slits his own fucking throat. But Eric said that I think even by this point,
he's believing it.
He's believing. And Leonard, before he kills himself, tells Andrew that he believes too. But Andrew tells Wynn to go out to a treehouse that they supposedly have an emotional tie to, even though we never saw them go into the treehouse. And so Wynn is gone, and the world starts ending. We see lightning flashing. Eric is seeing visions of figures.
It's getting dark.
And it's getting dark, like the apocalypse is happening. And so in a pretty emotional scene that I think actually is pretty convincing.
Yes.
Eric talks Andrew into killing him. And then we see Andrew find Wynn in the treehouse, and they're embracing. The movie should have ended right there.
I agree. And before you talk about the terrible, how it didn't need to keep going, the speech that Eric gives in that moment is so lovely because he's talking about like his hopes and dreams for their daughter. Like, it's really beautiful. I mean, Jonathan Groff is amazing. He's an amazing actor. So yeah, that's it. But yes, that is when the movie should have ended. And if it had ended right there, I might give this a higher score than I'm about to give it.
This is the M. Night-ness, where you can't just leave on that. And because I think they successfully took us on this weird journey, even though there was the funny shit with the TV stuff.
Yeah.
But they did kind of successfully get us there. Mm-hmm. And then but we can't stop in that lovely embrace with his daughter. They have to stop at a diner, and then we got to watch everyone watch TV and see that plane stopped and the waters receded almost magically, and have this other dry, poorly emotionally conveyed conversation amongst a bunch of people in this diner. And then there's a flashback where they sing the song Boogie Shoes, and then we got a extended scene at the end where Andrew Boogie Shoes is on the radio, and then they go.
I actually wouldn't have even hated it if they'd gone from the hug to in the car with Boogie Shoes, and then ended it there, because that's like them saying that Eric is always with them no matter what. This movie is every 3 movies we watch of M. Night Shyamalan, like every third one, comes back to things happen for a reason. There is a greater plan, you know? The Happening does that. Signs does that. This one does that. It's kind of...
But M. Night had to have that end scene where it's like, I have to show people that the apocalypse is actually pulling back.
Oh, yeah, they succeeded.
And it's fine just to see the clouds go away after...
The sun comes out where they're holding each other. End.
But I think this movie, is good enough for me to give it a 3. It probably would have been closer to a 4 if, some of the M. Night-isms weren't there, but the movie did succeed for the most part in spite of that.
I am going to give it a 3.25.
So that is
because the acting was just good enough for me to bump it up that extra 2.5.
Definitely one of the better. I mean, with a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies, you'll get like one person who is like really good and can. When you see a good actor in an M. Night movie, they're carrying it, right? We have Deanna Dunnigan and
oh my God,
no one in The Happening. I mean, I like John Leguizamo, but he didn't carry it, even though he was acting better than Mark Wahlberg or Zoe Deschanel. Like, and then you had
Betty Buckley was the best one in that movie, and she was just crazy.
Joaquin Phoenix and William Hurt, like they're really good, right? And
Adrian Brody.
Sure.
I mean,
he's not a bad actor.
No, he's not a bad actor.
Is he just, I kind of think of him in real life as almost like a goofy goofball who kind of takes himself way too seriously.
Probably.
With his like boutique hotel wall art that he's been unveiling lately.
I forgot you told me about that.
But yeah, so Knock at the Cabin, I think is a receptacle. Respectable 6.25.
That's the highest one on here.
Yeah. So, look, we barely got this episode up in time this week. And we said we might be late. We're definitely going to be late because we got relatives coming into town. The weekend's a little busy. So, our next week will be creepy camp movies. These are more movies you picked, and they're specifically meant to be campy, spooky movies.
They're all from the 80s.
I mean, your other week was pretty campy too, but yeah, this one is like the campiest week we're going to have.
Yeah.
We'll get it out there as soon as possible. We promise before, at least well before Thanksgiving, we can finish this off, I think.
Oh, like all, yeah.
But yeah, so we might miss next Wednesday, but we're still reposting old Documentaries episodes and stuff, so there is something to listen to. For those of you to re-listen, or many of you to listen for the first time. But that is M. Night's Thrills and Chills, and it was very middling. Very middling is a compliment. There was two that just like, The Happening is so bad. I can't imagine anyone liking that movie.
I was mad at the end of it. I was mad.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you hopefully next week, and happy Halloween.
Thank you for watching The Projectors. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We are available on YouTube and podcast. You can also support the show by liking, leaving comments, reviewing, sharing, and never questioning Bob when he claims that certain characters in movies are like autism. We love you. Goodbye.
Girl, to be with you is my favorite thing. I can't wait till I see you again. Here we go, ready? I wanna put on I'm Jared!
I forgot what kind of terrorists are these.
They see Boston got hit too.
Where'd you hear that?
A friend from work. What about Yvette?
Oh gosh, she made it out on the bus.
What the hell is going on, Elliot?
There's nothing where he used to lie. The conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed. Lying naked on the floor. Illusion has changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late. I'm already told.
He died from lack of attention.
All of humanity has been judged.
I'm Jared!